freaking buckets. I tried to use a friggin' fancy streaming software and tried to hook up my mic. Everything was going according to plan. And, the freaking mic has a mind of its own sometimes. Technical difficulties, but, we're here now. We're live. Pardon the difficulties. We'll be answering some questions. But yeah, just getting everything set up. We're transitioning to Plan B right now. And yeah, just stick with me here for a moment as I friggin' figure this crap out. I guess we don't really need a high tech service. Just gonna be me talking to you fellas, giving you a little bit of a lowdown of what's going on. But yeah, uh, I hope you guys can hear me now. If you could let me know if you can hear me, that'd be great. I knew something would go awry with the friggin' streaming service platform, and yeah, it's just freaking technology's a son of a gun for us Chads. You know what I'm saying? And maybe one day I'll figure out how to do this friggin' platform, but for now it's just gonna be archaic, gonna be pretty bare bones. So, anywho, just gonna test out the volume here, make sure it's all right. Sweet, we are good to go. We are locked in, ready to go. All right, we're here. Thank you all who submitted questions to the on the Instagram page. If you're not following the Instagram page, Chad-Jitsu, please do. There you can submit some questions that I will answer on the stream. Thank you all three of you who submitted a question. Holy freaking buckets! I got a freaking blemish right there. Deep V neck. Don't get too excited, Chads. All right. But anywho, I thought I'd tune in just to say thanks to you guys. All right. We are at freaking 600 subscribers. All right. That is a freaking strong Chad community. Okay. As one Chad, we are weak. We are thin pencil necks. All right. But as we get, together, we are stronger and we can create more force together and we can, just generate so much power, so much shock waves, gyrations throughout the jiu-jitsu community, all right? And I feel like this community is just going to grow bigger and bigger, better and better, and harder than last time, okay? So, yeah, let's just give yourself a round of applause for being absolute Giga Chads, all right? And subscribing, all right? Got some sweet, sweet news coming for you guys. This week we're going to the Nogi World Championships, the Blue Belt Nogi World Championships, and let me tell you, I'm freaking pumped. We're flying out Wednesday, competing Thursday, because I don't have the financial capacity to be spending a week out in Vegas. That is just ridiculous. The IBJJF is ridiculous. All right, and there must be the Rockefeller and freaking JD Morgan running IBJJF because they have a monopoly on that business. And I'll tell you what, Chads, that is a great business model. You need to get in on that business model. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you're looking for a way to make money, I'd suggest running a jiu-jitsu tournament. All right, Grappling Industries. I'm sure those guys make good money. I'm sure the Fuji guys make good money. So people like to spend $200 to friggin' tussle around for a little $2 medal. You know what I'm saying? So hey, don't blame them. IBJJF's got it on lockdown. You got to pay the membership, and then you got to pay to buy. We need a vlog of Nogi World's journey. I will certainly have some video footage along the way. I'll try to splice it together. I have logged a few things. They do not tend to do super well amongst you Chads, but for the few that do watch, they seem to enjoy. So I appreciate that. We did do an IBJJF Chicago vlog. We were going to do another MOG vlog from when we did the ADCC Chicago, but I am a freaking imbecile and did not go there in time to compete. So yeah, that was rather Sad, okay? Hold on a second. My jaw's atrophying. I gotta hit some exercise. Yeah. All right, now we're back to peak form. Anywho, what was I saying? Yeah, IBJJF, Nogi Worlds, weights on point. We're gonna go out there, do our best, freaking send it, see how it goes. But yeah, we'll compete Thursday. We'll let you know. We'll let the Chad community know. See what happens. It could come across some guy from Brazil who's just been training in a dark basement like Bane and is a freaking wizard with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You never know who you're gonna come across. I mean, you could get like a Pat Downey world champion wrestler that just fricks you for 6 minutes, and you're like, holy buckets, that was exhausting. This guy was on CJI, now he's kicking my butt for a blue belt world championships. Holy moly, that is a big cannoli to swallow. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, anywho, enough about me. No one cares. Let's get into the latest, greatest jiu-jitsu content, and let's get into some of your guys' questions, okay? I'm going to pull up the Instagram here, but as I'm pulling up the Instagrams, we'll just kind of briefly go over some of the events that have happened in the combat sports world. First of all, UFC 310 yesterday. Holy cannoli, Kron Gracie just needs to not do MMA. I think we can all learn a valuable lesson that takedowns are important. But hey, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu was all about self-defense. And I tell you what, you're not defending yourself if you don't know a takedown or takedown defense. And so you gotta know that takedown or takedown defense. So yeah, he jumps to close guard and eats an absolutely vicious elbow by Mr. Bryce Mitchell. I mean, that thing comes from absolute freaking nowhere. Well, I mean, not nowhere. I mean, the guy, holy buckets. I mean, sends him to the shadow realm, if I do say so myself. But yeah, friggin' A. How do I find on the desktop questions? Okay. If you have any questions, send them in the chat. But from what I remember, I'm using my phone as the friggin' recording device since my computer is being a freaking idiot. But yeah, anywho. So I believe one of the questions had something to do along the lines of, it was worded very greatly, but Geo said, "Hey, what are you smashing, food or beverage wise, in Vegas once you're done competing? Win or lose or draw, I'm probably taking down a absolutely dirty cheeseburger. I freaking love that crap. Give me a double-decker cheeseburger and maybe some bacon and some fries, and then a nice ice cold, probably I like Blue Moon, but maybe maybe a light beer since I'm going with the downright dirty burg. So that's my answer to that. Got to get your protein in. You can't just be competing all day in a catabolic state and not get any protein in you afterwards. You got to stay, jack stack thick and juicy for the event, okay? Also, I believe Samuel had a question along the lines of, are you going to be releasing it until you compete? You could go a lot of different ways with that. What am I releasing? Is Danaher releasing the next Enter the System DVD? Am I releasing an instructional? And am I releasing, my go-go juice? You know what I'm saying? The Vital Life Force, my chi. And the answer to that would be more so, you gotta store the chi to stay as primal as possible out there on the mats, okay? You can't just be spraying chi, you gotta be harnessing that energy for good performance on the mats. So that is my answer to that question. The next question we got from Mr. Showtime 43cc. Thank you for this excellent question. It's something along the lines of how do you Chads stay have a high lust for knowledge out there? All right, you can't just be, you know, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, that is a recipe for disaster. All right. I believe that's the definition of insanity. A wise Chad Albert Einstein once said, okay, doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity. So you need to be looking on the YouTubes, you need to be looking on the Instagrams, the absolute best sources of information to find martial arts content out there. But you need to look at these things with a critical eye, all right? There's a lot of bullshito out there, you know what I'm saying? A lot of caca. And you gotta experiment yourself. If you see a move, you're like, that might work, and you go and try it. And it doesn't, it may be your fault, but it also may be that it is a bullcrap move, You gotta also check out who's teaching this move. Is it some bullshito artist, what are the guy's accolades? Has he hit this in competition? If he has competition footage of him hitting this or of others at a high level hitting this, then it probably works pretty well and it's probably safe to use. All right. You need to be looking at the top minds in the sport. However, I don't like to watch what they say in instructionals. For example, Danaher freaking runs his mouth for too dang long. Usually you can find somebody else with a much cheaper instructional, with a much simplified way of explaining things that will do just as good as a Danaher instructional, all right? Unless you speak AI or robot, then I would suggest not getting the Danaher instructional, okay? I would suggest getting a more, less creepy instructional that's not 6 hours long, where you can get right to what you need to learn, all right? Danaher is all about concepts. I believe Jiu-Jitsu is more of a physical sport, not a conceptual sport. So you need to go out there and actually do it. So I'm not really sure what this whole concept thing is about. But yeah, anywho, those are some of the questions I got. If you have any more questions, feel free to send them in the chat. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and go right along to UFC 310. All right, that happened last night. Shavkat Rahman, whatever the frick you say his name, versus Ian the Cuck Machado Gary. Thank goodness Shavkat won. Oh my gosh, close fight, close scrap. I mean, you gotta admit Ian's pretty good, but thank goodness his O went away, and we do not have to quite deal. I mean, didn't lose any stock, but just as a Chad, I'm quite happy to see that, Shavkat won. But anywho, this is a jiu-jitsu channel, so let's go ahead and talk more about jiu-jitsu. I already talked briefly about the Kron Gracie mishap, you would say. But yeah, the Gracie families, you got to have a takedown. That's what I was saying. But also, I can't blame the man. Jiu-Jitsu is not about the takedown. It's about what you do once the fight's on the ground, So, I mean, you can negate takedowns by just sitting on your butt in Jiu-Jitsu. So, really, is it a Jiu-Jitsu thing? No, it's more so he's just not learning wrestling for the mixed martial arts that he does, okay? He's still a good Jiu-Jitsu guy. It's just he doesn't learn all the skills to be a good mixed martial artist, like the boxing and the wrestling and what have you. And guys train all those facets and are pretty good at them. So you can't just be a one-trick pony anymore. You gotta kind of learn everything. Also, we had the always beautiful, always stunning Chase Hooper on the card. The prelims hit a beautiful armbar on Clay Guida. He hit the armbar on him, and then Clay proceeded to run around like a crazy wild man. I don't know if it was due to the pain or that he was just freaking upset about the loss, or if he got his arm snapped in half, which is probably quite possible. I bet Clay is not a quick tapper. I'm sure he tries to wait until the last possible moment and then tap. Okay, but yeah, crazy kind of scramble, funky scramble. Chase gets to the back. He gets that Kimura trap going, locks up the armbar, finishes Clay, and that was pretty cool. Who else was on there BJJ wise? Chris Weidman lost. Wow. That's a shame. And then Lionheart lost. Who would have saw that coming? But yeah, it lost to Dominique Reyes. That's sad. There was another. Let's find this card. There was another one. There's another one I'm missing here. And let's pull up these results. Pantoja won. Who cares? Oh yeah, Gon versus Volkov. Yeah, those are the main ones. Aljo was a backpack, but yeah, beat the Russian fella. But yeah, overall good card last night. But this is a Jiu-Jitsu channel, so next up we're gonna be talking about ONE FC Championships, which happened Friday night. Okay, so on Friday was one. We had Dante Leone and Cole Abate compete on there. Cole freaking destroyed Aoki. He hit him with a straight ankle lock. But yeah, I feel like everybody that is that weight that comes to one to do grappling has to go against Aoki. Gary Tonin did, and then freaking what's his name, Mikey Musumeci did, and now Cole Abate did. So it's like a popping the one cherry, going over there and doing that. Then next up we had Dante Leone. Quick work of his man. He, like, it was like a shot or a snap down, gets to the back, locks up the rear triangle, and then finishes him with a standard triangle. Very impressive, very great win for both of the guys in their beginning bouts in ONE FC. So yeah, and then they announced Marcelo will be going against Imanari. Okay, this is. I mean, you have to go with Imanari in this case, considering he's been the more active man in recent years, and that Marcelo's coming off a pretty serious illness. So you'd have to think that Imanari would be in a sharper condition compared to Marcelo. But yeah, well, you could see Marcelo return to his old form. I mean, I'm excited to watch it. I'll be tuning in. And I think Marcelo is excited. He says he's not competed because of his kids and obviously the cancer. And he said now that his kids are older, he wants to have them see him compete. And, that'd be freaking cool. See your dad out there scrapping one last time. So, yeah, all the best wishes to Marcelo. I hope that follows through and that match happens. That'll be freaking sick. Next up, we got actually, before we... No way, Marcelo Monks. Oh, okay. I mean, arguably, you could say he defeated the toughest opponent in cancer, all right? That makes it GOAT status, in my opinion. If he comes out here and freaking... what would be the most Chadley is if he gets in a leg attack shootout with Mr. Imanari. If he hits the Imanari roll on Imanari, holy freaking buckets. Easily the GOAT. Like, hands down. Okay, Gordon's over here talking about a stomach infection. Marcelo had freaking cancer and beat it and comes back and wins, okay? Hands down, not even an argument who's better there, all right? Imanari rolls Imanari and heel hooks him. That's my prediction, all right? That would be freaking sick. But yeah, and then these two women scrapped. I wish I knew their name, but... there was this beautiful technique. One of them stomps the thigh and sends the other one over into insights, and it was freaking a thing of look it up. It was freaking sick. ONE FC's YouTube, it has it's like a short on there, but holy freaking buckets. Marcelo Teen called it first. That is a safe bet. I bet he could pop his head off pretty quickly. But let's see here. Cole Abate, ice cold Cole. Let's see if I can find this freaking downright dirty freaking submission setup by these gals. But yeah, she kicks the thigh. The lady spins and she freaking locks at the heel. It doesn't finish it, but it was freaking cool. You guys gotta watch that. But yeah, anywho, we'll move on. So that was Friday. Then Thursday we had the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 9. Mikey once again jumped ship from 1 to the UFC. That was big news, and it was funny because Mikey was calling out people for steroids, and Craig and Gordon were getting back at him. Craig had a funny video of Mikey exiting the Thai massage parlor. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think Mikey is a man of pasta, pizza, and penile pleasures? I don't know, but you guys let me know. But yeah, anywho, so that video surfaced. Gordon calls him a rat. Mikey goes on to say, "Well, I am a rat. That is my Chinese zodiac sign," which was a weird comeback. Anywho, he faces the guy. He's upset he didn't finish him. Guy's tough. Guy's a scrapper. Guy's good. And the guy kind of mocked him too, like acted like he was like limping. And then he like shoved Mikey at the end. Mikey once again takes that personally and thinks everybody is out to get him, which is just simply not true. Mike, quit it. It's maybe that's a Mike. Maybe that's a Mike thing. Michael Jordan did that. Now we got Mikey Musumeci doing that. But I was quite surprised that on the commentary, Gordon stayed quite professional and didn't really like roast him. He was actually quite complimentary of Mike during his match, which, I mean, good for Gordon. Good for him for doing that. But yeah, anywho, what else? Damian Anderson gets the finish against his opponent from Atos Sosa, I believe. Let me pull up this freaking card. FPI 9 results. But yeah, Nick Matea, I believe, loses. So Mikey faced Felipe Machado, who lost to Hokage in the Brazilian qualifier for ADCC. Jason Nolf had a freaking scrap with Renato Canuto, but ended up losing to him. Ryan Aiken narrowly takes out Gabriel Almeida, 2-0 victory. But yeah, Pixley had a weird match with Lucas Lira. Lucas Lira hits a freaking sick Imanari roll into like 50-50, but they go out of bounds, and that causes Mike to be down -3 points. And it looked like Lucas like injured his rib, but then proceeded to like be all right, and Mike didn't capitalize on that. And so I don't know if maybe I don't know what was going on. Maybe Michael was hurt. Maybe something was wrong with him. Maybe he was sick. I don't know. But he was kind of on the back foot against that match. So I'm not really sure what was going on. But yeah, Rolando Jr.'s who Nick Mateo lost to the close match as well. And then Johannes Gracie, the Brazilian Jason Statham, mogged Kyle Chambers. I mean, just put a clinic on. That guy must be strong as crap. He just put the pace and pressure on Kyle Chambers. But yeah, that was a good card. A lot of good matches on there. And then the night before that was Who's Number 125, Duarte Jimenez. Kind of not a whole lot going on there. 22 minutes of Kynan passing Roberto Jimenez. I mean, tough guy to submit. He's gone the distance with Nicky Rod. I would have thought Kynan would have finished him, but yeah, he still dominated him. Not a whole lot happened, but yeah. Before that, we had a Isaac Michel versus what's his face? Pedro Mourinho. I think that was like another 20-minute. Nothing really much happened there. Yeah, and then Felipe Pena defeated Declan Moody by guillotine. Poor Declan's just been getting guillotined left and right, mainly by Kynan, though. Don't care about that one. Max Hansen versus Carlos Enrique, kind of a decision, nothing. Just Max playing guard and Carlos trying to pass the whole time, nothing. I mean, it's just kind of up to the judges who won that one. But yeah. Overall, a lot of 20-minute matches on that card. Not a whole lot of submissions. But yeah. Lots of freaking jiu-jitsu events this week. Lots. And so, yeah, that'll satisfy your jiu-jitsu bug. We got Worlds coming up. I'm sure there'll be some great matches in the black belt division there. The brackets released today. The schedule's finalized. People are ready. People are getting horned up to go out there and compete. I know I am. And, yeah. But anywho, what else? Craig Jones posted a great little meme of a toe hold flip flop mock advertisement. If you have not seen it, please go to his Instagram and check it out. It's Gordon in a chair and then a bowl in the window doing a act that is not safe for YouTube. But yeah, that's pretty friggin' funny. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, 600 subscribers. Holy freaking buckets. Freaking amazing. Freaking amazing milestone. Thanks to you guys. But yeah, if there's no more questions, I think I'll just end it there, and I'll see you guys next week for this stream on the other side of the World Championships. Hopefully with some hardware and some good stories to tell. Hopefully with a fuller face with cheeks, and I'm carb loaded and ready to go. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.